for college admission fees. I worked in the labor, I worked in the fields, I worked in the road construction. I remember, how can I forget when I used to work as a waiter. This is Abdullah. I'm working as a lecturer at the Department of English, Qaid-e-Awam University of Engineering, Science and Technology. The purpose is to bring motivation for all those students, all those people who think that life is very hard for them, who think that they cannot do anything in this 21st century. Let me tell you about myself. It was a time when I was a village boy. I belonged to such a village which is, dominated by illiteracy, darkness, backwardness, and the people did not have any vision about their life, because most of them, they were farmers. Like them, my father was also a farmer, but he had a vision for me. He wanted me to be at good position. He wanted me to join a primary school. Initially, I resisted, and finally he persuaded me. I joined the primary school. In my primary school, I worked really hard. The one thing in me was, though I was an average student, but I was simple, straightforward, hardworking, devoted, and the most dedicated student in my class. After my primary education, my father wanted me to continue. And then, continuing this journey of education, I joined a high school in the village, Miro Khan. And over there, my journey was the better one. I could find so many other students from the various regions. And over there, I used to go to school without any pocket money. I was in the class most of the time. Even in the break time, all the friends, all the classmates went outside for break. They did have refreshments, but I used to sit in the class. I used to work even in the break time. So life was, of course, very hard. Early in the morning, I joined the school, and in the evening, I used to grace the goats. But one thing in me was, my teachers still quote me, and they tell the stories to other people, other students right now even. They say that I was the one, even in the evening, even at the fields, I used to have book all the time. I read books. Book was the only one, book was the support, book was the guidance that took me away. After my matriculation, I joined a college, because my father's aim was to seek higher education for me. And I joined a college. Honestly speaking, at the time my entire family shifted to another province. I was the only one. I decided not to join them. I decided to stay there for the one and only cause, that was the education. I remained all alone. I did not have any support. And again, for college admission fees, I worked in the labor, I worked in the fields, I worked in the road construction. I remember, how can I forget when I used to work as a waiter. I worked as a waiter, and finally, I remember my father also quoted me once I was working in the road construction. My both the hands were bleeding. And he said, your efforts, your hard work will finally pay off. And finally, I was the college student, and over there, I thought of starting tuitions. I started teaching at my village, and within 3 to 4 months, with hard work, I started teaching in the 4 villages. After my intermediate, I thought of leaving my village. I thought of joining the city life. Over there, I wanted to get graduation. Yes, the Laghari was a big opportunity. Can you believe that when I joined Laghari, I did not have any support at all. I did not know even a single person. I came there, and I met a person who offered me to teach his children. I agreed with that. I stayed over there, and this is how the journey of Laghari started. Over there, in the morning, I used to go to a degree college, and in the evening, I used to join different places for teaching. So Laghari was a big place. After I was done with the graduation, my only aim, my only objective was to seek MA English, because I was very much passionate about English, and cricket was my first love. From the cricket, there used to be commentary in English, Tony Greig, Ravi Shastri. I was very much impressed by them, very much inspired, and that's why I had loved to be the part of English department. I did not join any entrance test for medical or engineering. I straight away qualified. I straight away applied for the University of Sindh, and finally I was selected at the University of Sindh. Before this, I got a job, semi-government job, but again I resigned because I thought it is not my objective. It is not my destination. My destination was waiting for me. And when I joined I remember it was the 1st January. It was a rainy night. I was shivering with the cold. I was at the Fatak, and there were other, boys also. When I stepped on University of Sindh, it was the cold. It was the extreme cold, and I could find the fire. I approached over there, and then after getting warm, then I went to the campus stay. University life was very tough for me. People thought, how would he handle himself? How would he do that? Can you imagine in such a life? Can you see the children? Can you see the students who are joining the university life without any parental support, without any financial assistance, without any moral? But I had a motivation. It was only I myself. I was intrinsically motivated to do something. And I had an idea that there will be initial challenges, but I thought all these challenges are going to teach me a lesson, because I always consider life as my great teacher. Life teaches. Life has taught me so many lessons. Life had helped me identify those people who are with double standard. Life has helped me to face the difficult challenges with the bravery. I turned out to be the braver one. Even in the 1st semester, I could find many talented students of Hyderabad and from the entire Sindh. I was in trouble initially. I couldn't face those students. Passage of time, when the result of 1st semester was announced, I was leading, the rest. And in the 2nd semester, I thought of starting at the hostel. It was the first person, who started teaching at the hostel. After this journey, Alhamdulillah, University of Sindh is famous, especially the English department. Hardly any student passes the degree with the 1st class. And from our class, it was the only 2 students who got the 1st class. I was one of them. After university degree, I thought that I am not going to go back. I have to start my journey. I got the vision from the university. I thought I have to do something. People say we are going to serve our society. We will serve the society, they say, after becoming officers, CSS officer like that. But my only single objective was to produce other people like me, so that they may serve the society. So with this vision, I joined Hyderabad. I got the first university job. It was the teaching assistant, and afterwards I qualified commission SPSC English for the post of English, and I served there. The first joining place was Laghari, and then I got transferred from Laghari to Hyderabad because my objective was to be the part of Hyderabad. And during this course of time, I brought all my family to the Hyderabad, because my single objective of my life was to educate the people, because education is such a powerful tool that can refine, that can improve, the generations, not only generation but the generations. And that is why I always believe nothing is as stronger as education. And since my dream was to be a university teacher, Alhamdulillah, for 3 years I've been working at Qaid-e-Awam University of Engineering, Science and Technology. Even today I work more than 15 hours. I work really hard. I work on my students. I work for my own professional development. For this purpose, I've also completed my PhD in applied linguistics. I am actively working at Kaidevam University of Engineering, Science and Technology. But I had the one vision, I had the one purpose. As one psychologist said, if you give me 10 students, I can make them whatever I want them. They could be scientists, they could be engineers, they could be politicians, they could be teachers, they could be anything what I want to. Similarly, I've got children. I've got my family children, my brother's children, my sister's children. All of them are with me. I'm working on them because I always believe no other service is better than educating your own people, because education is the only powerful tool that can define the generations, such generations, because there are so many people who have double death because they do not do justice with their people, and though they are alive but they are gone from the hearts of the people. They have the double death. But the people who are rendering great services for their own people, they do not die even though they leave this materialistic world, but they rule over the hearts, but they are always remembered in golden words. And that is why the only objective, the sole mission of my creation is to serve my people. Otherwise I could have gone abroad, otherwise I could have pursued my PhD from abroad. For this purpose only I prefer to be here. I prefer to serve my own people. Finally, there is my message for the youth. You are a power. You can do anything. No power on this map can prevent you. It is only your struggle, your commitment, your hard work, your passion, and finally you can make that. Because it is said it takes two even to make a quarrel. So at least do not give up. Please finally pay the expectations of your parents. Please be up to their expectations. Do not discourage them. You are given opportunities. You are given support. You have every sort of support. You are the builders of this nation. You should not discourage yourself. If you are getting disappointment, it is a part of life. Because life is never even. It is uneven. It is a combination of hardships and joys. And you can turn your adversities into your blessings by dint of sheer hard work, labor, commitment. You are the builders of this nation, and you should also think, because every day is a new day and every sunshine brings new hopes for you, and you can convert these hopes and you can convert your dreams into reality by your hard work only.